Joe and Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. During our last live stream, we got to talk a little bit about a new Barbarian book. So please enjoy our discussion and review of that book right here. Before we move on to our main topic, we have our review for the week. So we're going to talk about a little book that I should have set up already. I guess it's hard because I was the last one talking. Good. We made it. We cut enough time there. So on today's review, we're going to be talking about Barbaric, Wrong Kind of Righteous. This is a one-shot from Wyld Comics. If you're not familiar with the Barbaric books, they're a lot of fun. They do these little 3-issue series from Wyld. It's kind of an adventure feel to it. It's kind of a funny, like, comedic stuff, and of course, there's a lot of gore, as you can kind of see from the cover. But let's talk about the creative team. This is by Michael Moreci created Barbaric, but this one's also co-written by Nicholas Eames, with art by Nathan Gooden, colors by Addison Roque, and letters by Jim Campbell. In this issue, this is a double-sized one-shot that introduces an all-new talking weapon, Flail. Let's see. In this issue, okay. It tells the tale of Sir Borys the Righteous, a paladin, and his trusty talking flail, as he enlists the help of Owen. Owen's our main character with the axe. On his noble path, there will be virtuous bloodshed. There will be a wailing protest. There will be 2 talking weapons, and there will be wyvern burgers served, for better or worse, or worse with pickles. So, like I said, this book doesn't take itself too seriously, which I appreciate. But Jeff, what did you think of this one shot? Because you've been reading the other series as well, right?
Yeah, I've been reading Barbaric since the second series. I had to go back and track down the first series. I love Barbaric. Michael Moreci, what's his name? Moreci. Has just been the all the stories are super funny. It's about a barbarian who has enchanted axe that speaks and loves drinking blood. So the more violent the barbarian is, and the more he slashes and hacks at people, the more blood the axe gets to drink, and the axe literally gets drunk off the blood. So the more blood he drinks, the more belligerent the axe becomes as well. And it's kind of like it's like having a weird sidekick that just makes fun of you the whole time. And Owen the barbarian just like, I'm just a barbarian, just he just wants to live his life kind of thing, but he's kind of forced to do good deeds because of the axe and stuff
he's
that
cursed,
happens
right?
early on.
That's his curse, to carry this weapon and feed it blood, only when the axe tells him to, though. So the axe can kind of tell if you're like up to no good, and that's kind of where Owen steps in. So he can't just kill anyone that he wants. It has to be prompted by the axe.
And I'm happy that they're starting to introduce more talking weapons. So in this one, they introduced the talking flail, which is a funny character. In the Queen of Swords miniseries, they have another talking sword in that one.
Yeah,
they've really been building out the universe for this universe over this past year. But yeah, I love all their stuff. That's super funny, violent, but not over the top. Like it's comic violence because it's barbarian. But yeah, it's just great. It's funny, very funny.
Yeah,
I would love to see some kind of movie adaptation someday or something.
I think this would be good for that. Nathan Gooden. So I'm just showing a few preview art pages, and it's just really good stuff. I love the pacing of how he's setting up the scene. This is an action page. This is just like a bit of a sit. This is the sitcom part of the comic book, which I really enjoy, where they're just sitting around like, where's my burger? And then she finally brings it out, and they're like, oh, but it's got pickles in it. So like, send it back, bring me the right one. And I love these panels here where like you kind of zoom in on the waitress in Owen's face, and Soren and the axe are just kind of like, it's kind of, when you go to a restaurant and somebody gets something wrong in their order, and everybody's kind of awkward, like, well, can I eat? Like, I got my food, or like, stuff like that. So, but we're introduced to the Paladin. Here you can see the flail, and they don't really hold back on the violence in these books either. Like, it's pretty much very much out there. But I like that we get to kind of see the story of the Paladin too. And then I have one last page. Like,
that's what I wanted you to bring up.
yeah, it just looks so cool. Like it's such a good way to kind of display the reaction of Owen, and like you see this guy's getting cut in half and you just kind of see the guts out there. But in the meanwhile, you see all the panels with the full action behind. So I don't know, stuff like that. This is one of the things that comics can do that I don't know how you would display that in another medium if you were to adapt this. So I really enjoyed this one shot. It's really fun. And it's pretty
And this
interesting.
comes out this week.
Sorry?
This comes out this week.
This will be out on Wednesday, yeah. So you should be able to pick this up this week.
Great.
And you should be able to go back and pick up. I think there's 3 different volumes of Barbaric.
Looking them up now.
Yeah. Highly recommend it. It's a cool stuff. So, any final thoughts on this, Jeff?
Go buy it. That's what I would say. The artwork is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a great story. I don't think you need to read the first, like, it doesn't, it's not a super high bar of like jumping into, like, if you're what we told you now, like they even kind of get into it in the thing that
they do an exposition to be like, for you to piece together, like, oh, Owen's also cursed and he has to, work with the axe or whatever. I think Soren's not a big part of this one. I feel like she's kind of helping at some points, but this is really more about Owen and the Paladin and the people with. So Soren is the witch. I guess she's a witch.
Yeah.
So, and of course, Fault always has really cool variants, including a Berserk homage. Which
I see that.